Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to be discussing about plant breeding. So what is plant breeding? Plant breeding is the process of developing economically important plants. Okay, so it's the process of developing economically important plants with superior quality. So when I say superior quality, what are the superior qualities that we are going to be expect in the plant which is going to be going for breeding? So the superior quality that we are going to be expecting are high yielding, resistant to diseases, then pest resistant, and then it must also have a high nutritional quality. So these are the superior qualities that we will be expecting from an economically important plant. And in order to be producing economically important plants with superior quality, that process is only known as plant breeding. Okay, so what is the reason for us to do plant breeding? We have already discussed about animal breeding. Okay, so what is the need for us to do plant breeding as well as animal breeding? So when we talk about India's population is likely to reach about 1.7 billion in the year 2050. Okay, and when we talk about the current rate of food production, the current rate of food production will be able to meet only 59% of the food demand in the year 2050. Okay, so you can just imagine only 59% of the food demand can be met in the year 2050 when we talk about the current food production rate. So how can we increase the food production? So we can increase the food production by going in for plant breeding as well as animal breeding. Okay, so today we are going to be studying only about plant breeding because already we have discussed in detail about animal breeding. Okay, so in order to meet the food demand, that is the major reason. In order to meet the food demand only, we are going to be going in for plant breeding. Okay, so now let's take a look at how plant breeding is going to be helpful in producing plants which are going to be having all these superior qualities. Okay, so before that, when we talk about plant breeding, it is very important for us to talk even about green revolution. So what is this green revolution? So there are many revolutions which have happened in India. Green revolution, white revolution, blue revolution. So green revolution is actually the process of increasing food production. Okay, so it's the process of increasing food production by growing high yielding crop varieties. Okay, I will repeat what is the meaning of green revolution. So green revolution is the process of increasing the food production by developing high yielding crop varieties. Okay, so what led to green revolution in India? So when we talk about the post-independent period, so during the post-independent period, India faced a lot of challenges. Okay, so after the post-independent period, India faced a lot of challenges because of what? Because of the growing population. So a lot of efforts were taken in order to be increasing the yield of the food of the plants. So then all these efforts only led to what is right now known as the green revolution. So green revolution is basically going to help in increasing the food production by making or by producing high yielding crop varieties. So the father of green revolution is Dr. Norman E. Borlaug. Okay, so he is the father of green revolution. So there is also a father of green revolution in India. So Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So So Dr. M.S. Swaminathan is considered as the father of Indian Green Revolution. So in India, the father of Green Revolution is going to be Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. The reason is because Dr. M.S. Swaminathan joined along with Dr. Norman E. Borlaug in order to introduce a lot of high yielding crop varieties in India. Okay, so he introduced high yielding crop varieties in India. So for that purpose only, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan is rightly considered as the father of Indian Green Revolution. Okay, so now let's take a look at how plant breeding is going to be helpful in producing the plants which are of better quality. Okay, so first let's discuss about the high yielding crop varieties which were introduced by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So, for high yielding crop varieties, for wheat, two crop varieties were introduced. One was Sonalika and the other one was Kalyan Sona. So Sonalika and Kalyan Sona were the two wheat varieties which were introduced into India, and these two wheat varieties were high yielding. So now let's see the characters of these wheats. So the characters of these two crop varieties were, they were high yielding, that is the first thing. Then they were fertilizer responsive. And then they were semi-dwarf varieties. So what is the meaning of fertilizer responsive? Fertilizer responsive means when we are adding the fertilizer to the crop, these crops respond better. Okay, and then what is the meaning of semi-dwarf? Semi-dwarf means these are all short plants. Okay, they are not dwarf, but then they are short. Okay, so these are the three very important characteristics of Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, and these two were wheat varieties which were high yielding, and they were brought into India from Mexico. So these two were the Mexican wheat varieties. Okay, so this was brought into India again by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan because of the Green Revolution. Okay, so when we talk about the rice variety, again one more very important high yielding rice variety which was introduced into India was IR8. So IR8 is known as the miracle rice. It's known as the miracle rice, and this IR8 was also a high yielding as well as a semi-dwarf crop variety. Okay, so this IR8 was produced from two different crops. Okay, so this was produced from, it's actually a hybrid. Okay, so IR8 is a hybrid. So it was produced from Pita and DGO Gen. Okay, it is abbreviated as DGWG. So it was produced by crossing Pita and DGO Gen. So DGO Gen is actually from China. It's a crop variety. It's a rice variety from China. And then it was semi-dwarf variety. And then when we talk about Pita, Pita was from Indonesia. It was a rice variety which was taken from Indonesia. And then this was high yielding. So IR8 is a high yielding crop variety which is produced by crossing Pita and DGO Gen. Okay, so now let's move on to discuss about the next topic, which is how plant breeding can be producing the disease resistant crops. Okay, so how plant breeding is going to be able to produce crops which are disease resistant to diseases. So before that, we need to understand what is disease. So diseases are caused by microorganisms such as virus, fungi and bacteria. Okay. So what is the necessity for us to develop crops which are disease resistant? The reason is because the crop, when we talk about a crop, yield is something which is very important. We need high yield. Okay, then only good food production will be there, and also the farmers can take profit out of it. So the yield has to be good. But then when we talk about disease, if there is a disease spread which is happening in a particular crop, then it very drastically affects the crop yield. Okay, so it's going to affect the crop yield very badly. So in order to overcome this problem, what has been done is disease resistant crop varieties have been produced using plant breeding technique. So let's take a look at few of the examples right now. Okay, so the first one is a disease resistant wheat variety. So the name of the disease resistant wheat variety is Himgiri. So Himgiri is the name of the disease resistant wheat variety, and this wheat, this Himgiri is actually resistant to leaf and stripe rust. So it's resistant to leaf and stripe rust and also to hill bunt. So leaf and stripe rust as well as hill bunt both are fungal infection which attacks the wheat. Okay, so this is very drastically going to affect the plant yield, crop yield, as I told you already. Okay, so Himgiri is going to be resistant to leaf and stripe rust and hill bunt. Okay, so this variety will not be getting this particular disease. So let's move on to the next one. The next example is the resistant variety of cauliflower. So the disease resistant variety of cauliflower is known as Pusa Shubra and Pusa Snowball K1. So Pusa Shubra and Pusa Snowball K1 both are disease resistant varieties of cauliflower, and these two varieties are going to be resistant to the disease black rot. So black rot is a bacterial disease. Okay. So now moving on to the last example. The last example is cowpeas. So the disease resistant variety of cowpeas is known as Pusa Komal. So Pusa Komal is the disease resistant variety of cowpeas, and then this is resistant to the disease which is known as bacterial blight. So from the name itself you can understand that it is a bacterial disease. Okay. So this is about how plant breeding is helpful in producing disease resistant crop varieties. Now let's move on to discuss about how plant breeding is useful for producing insect resistant crop varieties. So the first one is Brassica. So what is this Brassica? Brassica is actually mustard. Okay. So the insect resistant mustard variety that was created was Pusa Gaurav. So Pusa Gaurav was the insect resistant crop variety that was produced using plant breeding. So which insect is this Pusa Gaurav resistant to? It is resistant to aphids. So aphids are actually the sap sucking insect. They suck the sap of the plant. Okay. Now let's move on to the next example. The next example is the flat beans. So when we talk about the flat beans, the insect resistant variety of flat beans were Pusa Sem 2 and Pusa Sem 3. So Pusa Sem 2 and Pusa Sem 3, these two varieties are resistant to insects such as aphids, then leaf hopper, and then fruit borers. Okay. Now moving on to the last one. The last one is the lady's finger. So the insect resistant variety of lady's finger is Pusa savani and then Pusa A4. So these two are the insect resistant varieties of lady's finger. Okay. And these two varieties are going to be resistant to insects like shoot and fruit borer. Shoot and fruit borer. Okay. So one question should have arisen in your mind right now. What is this Pusa? So everywhere we are coming across the plant variety which is created, that is after plant breeding, the variety which was created is getting the prefix name as Pusa. So what is this Pusa? Pusa is actually another name for Indian Agricultural Institute. Okay, so Indian Agricultural Research Institute is also known as the Pusa Institute. So as all these crop varieties were plant bred in the Indian Agricultural Research Institute, so they are named with the prefix Pusa. Okay, so this is about how plant breeding is useful for producing insect resistant crop varieties. Now let's move on to discuss about how plant breeding is going to be useful in producing plants with a better nutritional quality. Malnutrition is actually one of the major problems which are faced by people, by all the population who are present all around the world. Okay, so in order to overcome this, lot of focus has to be taken in order to produce plants which are going to be having a better nutritional quality. Okay, so the process by which the plants are produced with a better nutritional quality is known as biofortification. Okay, so what is this biofortification? Biofortification is the process of enriching a particular crop with a particular nutrient. Okay, a desired nutrient. It could be vitamins, it could be minerals, it could be proteins, or it could be anything. Okay, so biofortification is the process of developing a particular crop variety with a desired nutrient. Okay, so now let's move on to discuss about the examples again. So the first example that we are going to be discussing is the iron rich rice variety. So using biofortification technique, that is using the plant breeding process, rice varieties are created, rice varieties are produced which are going to be having a very rich source of iron content. Then next is Atlas 66. So Atlas 66 is actually a protein rich wheat variety. It's a protein rich wheat variety. Then next is the lysine rich maize variety. So actually lysine is an amino acid. So lysine rich maize varieties are produced. So the lysine rich maize varieties are known as Protina, Shakti and then Ratna. So Protina, Shakti and Ratna are the lysine rich maize varieties. Okay. Then the last example is vitamin A enriched. Vitamin A enriched vegetables like carrot, spinach and then pumpkin. Okay, so with the help of biofortification we can enrich a particular crop with a desired nutrient. So you can see rice variety is made iron rich, then wheat is made rich in protein, then maize varieties are made rich in lysine, and then some of the vegetables are enriched with the vitamin A. Okay, so this is also very important, because if we consume these products, like if we consume a vitamin A enriched carrot, it is going to be very good for our eyes. Okay, so whatever work vitamin A has to be performing, that we will get from our diet itself. So same way, when we consume spinach which is enriched with vitamin A, again it is going to be useful for us. So these are some of the superior qualities which can be improved using plant breeding. So I hope you understood what we have discussed in this video. So thank you so much for watching.